welcome to the Conn'Cast. The reason why I'm saying that is because we are actually this episode will come out on the 22nd of December.
22nd, yeah.
There we go. Like you know. But yeah, Merry Christmas, guys. Welcome to the Conn'Cast. That's really weird. I am your host, Finn Tumber, as always, and joined with me, as you just heard, is co-host Cameron Ralph. And
I'm back.
Yes, you're back. Well, I'm looking at that camera, by the way. I'm impressed.
I know my angles.
So yeah, as we said, this will come out 3 days before Christmas, which is why we're wearing. What are you wearing, Cam? Actually, for Christmas, I can't see.
So I didn't have a Christmas jumper.
I see you around there.
So I've given myself an impromptu bauble, which is the best I can do. It
didn't make the cut on a Christmas tree, as you can see, but we've sorted the Christmas tree out now, which is good. That was a bit of an issue last episode of Luke, but I've fixed it now. But yeah, again, Merry Christmas, guys. So in this episode, me and Cam, we're going to do like a slightly different episode, actually.
Yeah.
Usually, as you guys know, we do like an interview sort of one. So like I'll be the host and I'll speak to the guests and they'll tell me about their mental health. But I said it to you the other day, Cam. I was like, it'd be quite cool to actually just have a discussion again.
Yeah, I mean that's what it's all about, really, isn't it? It's discussing,
just having a chat, especially around Christmas.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's a chat and a year in review, that sort of thing.
Very much so, like, you know, and the past 2 episodes we've done together. Although the second one that we did was supposed to be this, it ended up being me talking about obviously that I've got autism and ADHD, so it ended up being you interviewing me.
Yeah.
So I thought it'd be quite nice as a third time round. Third time's a charm. Have a proper chat about things. And you guys watching and listening, let me know if you like this sort of thing. You know, I don't know if you guys know, but on Spotify, you can actually comment on Spotify podcasts, which is quite cool.
Yeah.
YouTube, you can also comment as well. Please do give us feedback. And if you like this episode at the end, please do let us know, because I'd love to know if you like this sort of thing of just hearing me and Cam yap. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. But so as you said, Cam, let's start. So 2024 in review.
Yeah.
What a year.
Before we start, I'm going to take this off my ear.
I'm also going to take this off because I feel like this is a bit, it makes me feel unserious.
It was a little like festive stuff.
That was actually a really good shot.
No, they're not mine, so I'm not going to throw it. Yeah, it's a little festive start, but we do want to keep the tone, really. Well,
exactly. And I know you're going to speak about shortly about how you said about Christmas to you this year, which actually leads quite nicely into why, obviously, we're not going to go all in with the Christmas part of things. Yeah. But 2024, Cam, what a year.
It's funny that I'm literally about to start by saying this, but are we allowed to swear?
I'll allow it.
Yeah?
I'll allow it. I'll allow it. 1 F-bomb.
I'm not going to F-bomb, that's fine. No, I think someone's asked me this before, or when I've just spoken about my year this year, I, in the bluntest way possible, would say it's been one of the shittest years of my life, and a really good year of my life at the same time.
It's so weird, isn't it?
Which is very conflicting.
Yeah.
But that's literally the way to sum it up in brutal honesty.
Yeah.
You know, worst year of my life and a really good year in terms of opportunity.
Massively.
Yeah.
Massively. I understand that from just knowing you.
Yeah.
It's a really weird one.
Yeah. I've got to, look at some things this year and be like, I'm grateful that career-wise, like, there's been some nice things for me this year. Obviously, having the little part in Wicked.
In a Wicked year.
So I did a long bit of, for anyone who doesn't know at this point, which I'd be surprised if you didn't, because I've not stopped talking about it.
I haven't stopped talking about it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Worked as an essay on Wicked for the majority of the year, but that's come out now, and that's been really nice. Got some really nice screen time in that. And just I've been grateful that I've had work this year. I don't think there's been a load of points where you always have dry spells, but I think there's been a good heap of work this year.
It has been. And leading on with what we said about Wicked, so I just thought myself randomly. One thing, guys, this has not been rehearsed, this episode. Before we carry on, I just want to say that we haven't planned anything, which I was a bit unsure about because I like being planned, and it adds a bit more quality sometimes to the podcast, but actually this is really authentic because there's going to be lots of umming and ahhing. We don't know what we're talking about. It just makes it a bit more fresh for you guys, so let me know if you like that. But what I've just thought about when you said about Wicked and stuff about this year, I sent you a text, I think it's after you watched Wicked, and I used the term silver lining, these good things, which I actually didn't. Looking back, I don't want to call it a silver lining. It's like good things have happened and really shit things have happened. Yeah, and there's no relation to it all, but I'm proud of you that you've come out the way you have after all the crap that you've been through this year. Like, I know it sounds really cliche. Yeah, but you've done really well, Cam. I think. If you're happy, obviously mentioning it with your mum, obviously you already said it on another episode and stuff. I don't know if it was a really tricky subject to say, but I remember at the time thinking, oh my, like I don't know what to do or say, and I was really worried how you were going to be. And you seem like you're really, you're coping. Is that the right word?
Yeah, I think it swings and roundabouts. And anyone who gave me any advice will know that it's never like it never goes. You do just kind of, well, I guess you do just kind of cope. Yeah. I mean, when something like that happens, you think that your year is over. Yeah, really. So your whole life just crumbled. You're like, oh my god, what? Yeah, in terms of my year, like my 2024 in review, you'd think that my 2024 ends in June. Like you'd think that would be the point where it would stop, but it did stop for a few weeks. Yeah, well, I mean, I guess even a month or two, really. Like, so I didn't hit the ground running after that, but after that point, I did kind of like pick up the rest of my year, and I've just been slowly doing things. Yeah. But from a mental health side of things, like it has been good things, really. You know, I've like we went away that was amazing to France and Belgium in August, which was a great mental health trip, really.
It's a personal little thing to it as well with Disney, obviously, because you wanted to go there your whole life, didn't you? You said, and
I've never been. Yeah,
and it's so amazing we've got to go. Yeah, and it's such a nice touch.
Yeah, really. I think she, like, Mum. It's always a place that she would have wanted me to, wanted to take me to. So it was quite a nice thing that I got to go there. So there's
I was also actually going to ask. This was going to be off podcast, but I'll just ask now. Obviously, like, the part since then, obviously with your mum and stuff, obviously life's been really crazy. Obviously, like, Chloe's been great. I want to add, I don't know if she wants me to mention her, but big up Chloe.
She'll be fun with mention. Yeah.
And like, there's been some really amazing things happen to you. But what I was going to ask you is that, have you found the time to really mourn? If you don't mind me asking, have you really found time to take it in? Yeah,
you take it in on different days, to be honest. Like, I think Dad's found the same thing as well. It's random things on random days that will kind of pick it up. But like early stages of that, you kind of do obviously think about it a lot, because you do kind of wonder, like, how are you going to go on from this point? Different points, like my birthday. That was a big day of reflection. I didn't really enjoy my birthday for that reason, to be honest, just because it was like, it was good that I was reflecting on it that day, but that was a big day of reflection. I
don't know if you feel like this, but when you lose a loved one, which I mean, I've felt in a different way, obviously, I almost get that feeling sometimes that they should be here, and that's why I don't like it. Do you feel like that at all? Does that ever cross your mind?
I mean, bringing it up again, like watching Wicked. That was the horrible thing about that, really, because she was quite excited about that, because obviously she knew that I was working on it, and luckily, I was used in like one of the promotional photos and stuff like that. So, and little bits of stuff that I'd taken myself photo wise.
Did she see the promotional?
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Oh, that's so mate. I did not realise that was before.
Yeah, that was really lucky. And I tried, just because I've been trying to get a hold of a different photo that came from set, which I don't know if I will manage to get my hands on.
Oh, I know which one.
Yeah. So I was talking to the director of Wicked, John Chu's publicist. Yes. And I actually put in at the end of the email where I was asking about said photo, I just said, just added on what had happened to me this year, and just said, I don't know whose decision it was to, choose that photo for one of the publicity things, but if they could just extend a thank you to John.
You said that?
Yeah, I wanted
realise.
to extend a thank you to John, the director, and also whoever decision that was to choose that photo, because obviously it was something that she got to see while she was with us.
Yeah, that is...
Which is really good, because otherwise I think I would have felt obviously still gutted that she hasn't been... I hope that she has been able to see it, obviously, but...
I think so.
I'd like to think so as well. Yeah. But that is one of those things where like you kind of think, should have been here. That's
one of those.
But, yeah.
I think I mentioned it to you when like, I think I've seen like a few musicals of you, and it's like I felt a bit awful almost taking a seat. To make sense, although she would have wanted it. It just...
Oh yeah, she wouldn't have wanted that.
And I enjoyed seeing Shrek, and what was the other one we saw? What did you see? Was it Hairspray?
Hairspray, yeah.
Hairspray was great, by the way. Yeah. But it just, part of me just like, I loved the fact he wanted me there, and I was so grateful. But I get that. And I think this leads quite nicely into, you spoke about, you wanted to talk about Christmas. This leads really nicely into it.
Yeah.
So what's Christmas to you this year, really? I mean, it's a bit of a crap year, and
yeah.
How is it to you?
So I wanted to talk about this from a personal perspective, but also I thought it'd be a good thing to bring up just in general for anyone that's watching as well, because I feel like Christmas is... You don't really realise it sometimes because, you're blaring Christmas tunes on the radio, and like you're looking forward to the Christmas dinner, and everyone's talking about what they're excited for, this, that and the other. But I think you don't realise how many people Christmas is probably like the worst time of year for them. Like they probably hate it.
100%.
And now me being in this position, I'm the same, because it definitely don't hate Christmas. Not a Scrooge at all. Like I can still happily enjoy Christmas things, like films and music or whatever. But this year, I've already spoke to you about this obviously, but I'm not doing Christmas. But that's a personal decision. Just between me and my dad, purely because we just don't really want to.
100%.
And it'd be very forced if we did.
I completely agree. You'd be forcing yourself into something that it doesn't feel right.
Yeah, I don't feel the want or the need to do it, to be honest. But instead of that, and from an example of like coping with these times of year, this time of year and everything, our plan is to just go away somewhere and not block out the world for a couple of days, but just kind of spend some days just doing whatever we want to do, and just not giving any care
for anything, or just being and just existing and going somewhere.
Yeah, that doesn't mean being reckless as well, by the way, by not caring. But just not caring what is going on, what everyone else is doing that day. We're just going to do whatever we want for a couple of days. I think we're going to stay away from home as well.
We're not even call it Christmas. It's almost like a little breakaway.
Christmas. It's just a little break.
Just a little break and just forget it, really. I think that would be... I do understand where you're coming from with that. It's in a way, I get it. This year is not one that you want to be festive about at all. It's that sort of thing, and you just want to just be. Yeah. And it's a good time to do it. Well, I always find with Christmas, everything kind of shuts down around the festive period.
I think everything is... Christmas at that time of year, isn't it? And you don't realise it.
But it's a great time for you to go away, and while everything is all shut down, you can just you and Kev your dad can just be away and do stuff. So that'd be really good. Yeah, on that topic as well, what you said, it's like Christmas has been pushed as it's supposed to be. It's a really happy time for everyone. It's almost what the culture of it is, but it isn't for everyone. Like Cam said, it's not that for everyone, and especially if you lose a loved one. For me, it was like they should be here. Yeah, they should be here. Yeah, for us, and they're not.
Oh my brother, I mean, of course,
they're not here.
You've been in this position as well.
It was a weird first Christmas, and it doesn't feel right at all. I remember the first Christmas really well. I think actually looking back, we weren't festive at all. Like me and my mum, Mark, we didn't have a Christmas tree up. I don't think we did nothing. No. And all we wanted to do is just get out of the house.
Exactly.
We were, like, that's exactly what it was like. We wanted to get away, which is why we moved to the boat and stuff. Anyway, that's another story. But I do understand, obviously you'd experience it differently, but yeah, it's not happy for everyone.
I think talking, obviously, from both of our perspectives as well, our like way of dealing with that and moving through that holiday period is we've both chosen the method of just kind of getting out of the house and doing something.
Things.
And I think I did want to just talk about like, a few things that you can do around the holiday period to help with that. So obviously, there is the go on a little trip somewhere, go just out the house for like the day or anywhere. Because unfortunately it is everywhere. You're always going to be reminded of Christmas. Not to be a Scrooge, but
humbug.
Yeah, I think there's multiple things that you can do. Like obviously we not Saturday actually, not tomorrow. We've got a Christmas meal. I did air quotes then because obviously it's not on Christmas and it's not Christmas dinner. But
yeah, how do you feel about that actually as well?
I feel fine about that because it's just it's friends going out for a meal.
We're not dressing up
around Christmas time. And we do it. I think we've done it for like the past 2 or 3 years.
Big up Mitch.
Yeah, the planner that is Mitch, because we're all hopeless.
We would not be doing this without him. Anyway.
But I think that ties into what I was going to say about like around the festive period. If you've got like friends or whatever around you, spend some time with them because you don't have to do Christmas related things. I think the meal that we're going to, it's never Christmas themed or anything. Like we're going to an Italian restaurant, but just being with people that you love and just chatting and talking about anything. We probably won't even mention Christmas, I don't think, on that.
No.
But that's definitely, I'd say, a big thing that people can do is to, if you've got friends around you that are present at that time, like go spend some time with some people.
That is so perfect, Cam. It's like talking. Funny enough, for me, I don't know if this might not be like the general consensus, but for me, Christmas can be like a really lonely time of the year, which sounds stupid because you're surrounded by your family, but you can still feel lonely. I don't know if you like trying to word it. It's almost like, because if you're feeling down in the dumps and like you're feeling really depressed and stuff, even though you've got your whole family around with you, it's so chaotic sometimes and you just want to shut yourself away and so it can be quite a lonely time.
Yeah.
And it is so important that you do talk to people. Even like, I watched this video earlier actually. I put up my story. It was Mind put it up, and they recorded like a little short film of it's basically like this dad was picking up their kid from uni. They're driving home, and it was basically the kid was like closing himself up, and there's loads of reminders saying talk at Christmas. And eventually, the dad, when he parked up, said like, "Son, I'm really worried about you," and they just have a chat. It's just things like that. It's just like you can feel quite lonely, and it's important to talk. So that's basically what the moral of the story is. It's like talking can help, guys. So like Cam,
good they're putting that out as well. Actually,
it's
that's
so good.
A really good way of doing it.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. It was so good. But like you summed up perfectly, Cam. It's like if you got friends around, maybe they're feeling lonely, maybe they've got chaos at home because it can be quite chaotic Christmas. Ping them a message, like say, "You're right, mate. Do you want to go for a little walk?"
I think walks on Christmas are quite like a peaceful thing as well, really. Like I don't think we might have done it a couple of times on Christmas, but I know especially like Boxing Day and stuff like that, we'd always go to like Whitstable or somewhere and do like a coastal walk at the time, and it's like it's dead, isn't it? Like there's nobody about apart from a few other walkers. But if you went out for a walk or a trip on Christmas Day, like I don't think you're going to run into many people, and that can be a nice thing because like you're not bombarded with all these people celebrating Christmas. It's just you can just go for a walk.
Well, obviously, without getting too political and stuff and like religious and stuff, but obviously we've got a very diverse culture in England, and obviously not everyone celebrates Christmas.
Yeah, not
that's
everyone.
one thing to mention as well. If you go out, sometimes it might. I mean, like I think we've got a few news agents and stuff which the families happen to not they don't celebrate Christmas, and the corner shop's still open and stuff, which is always like cool to see.
Yeah.
But me and Jack actually every year, did we do it last year? I can't remember. But me and Jack actually go to Snaps. We actually go to the gym.
Oh, of course, yeah.
every Christmas Day. Because the story behind it is like everyone, like we have our Christmas lunch, and as every family does, you have a Christmas dinner, and my parents and my nan just fall asleep in the afternoon. And I'm like, well, I'm sat around, and like you just said, I ping Jack a message and go, "You right, mate? What are you up to?" And he's like, "Oh, well, Christmas. What do you mean? It's Christmas Day, bro. What are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, do you fancy going?" This is how it went down the first time. I was like, "Do you want to go gym?" And I was just expecting him to say no.
Yeah.
And he was like, "I could do actually." I was like, "What?" So me and Jack go to Snaps, and we've done it, I think, 3 years in a row. And yeah, there's a few people there sometimes, surprisingly, but I'm guessing it could be because of religious, or maybe they, like me, just want to get out.
But spare time, really, yeah.
It is so good. And I think Jack, deep down, he's a bit of a closed book, but I think he really loves it. He mentions it every year. Like randomly during the year, he'll be like, "Oh, we're doing that Christmas gym session again, aren't we?" I'm like, well, I mean, we can.
Yeah.
So we're at Swallows now, though. We can't do it. It's closed.
Oh, yeah.
Fuming. I might have to like buy my own like dumbbells and just do it under the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Try to bench the Christmas tree. Toby's getting it. That's my dog. That's outrageous.
Nice.
But no, Christmas is a very tricky situation for many people. So that's why it's important to be kind over the festive period. Understand that you never know what people might be going through. Because for some people, it's an amazing time of year. People love it. Other people, sometimes it's not their year. And, that's okay to kind of touch on with. So
Yeah, so we spoke about my Christmas and Christmas in general for people, and obviously my year in review, but we haven't spoke about your year in review yet. So do you want to speak a bit about your year?
I forgot this is about. I forgot I have to talk. Wait, are you drinking f***ing milk?
Just realised I've like gulped in the mic as well, so it's like ASMR. It's
Why have we got milk?
It's Christmas. Kindly supplied by Jack. He's just mid. Yes, you do have some as well.
So
yeah.
How have I not seen it? Wow.
Mid podcast.
I'm a good actor.
Mid podcast, Jack has supplied us with ginger nut biscuits and milk. So dunk.
Is it? Wait, I need to get back into the mic. Is it bad? I've never actually dunked milk.
You've never dunked a biscuit in milk?
I've never done. I've done tea, Biscoff and tea. Yeah, Cam, you put the whole thing in your mouth. You deep throat that ginger nut. That sounds awful. Wait, do you reckon I could put? I can't eat it. I took too much. Maybe we'll keep it. No, Cam, you actually surprised me there. Not for the milk, but because I forget I'm actually supposed to talk in this podcast. I'm so used to doing like interviews that when you asked me, I was like, whoa, hang about. I've actually got to talk about something.
Yeah, it's different this time because it's kind of a conversation, isn't it? So
yeah, no, I'm a bit shocked. Well, I kind of knew it was going to happen, but I didn't plan for it. So now I'm like, what am I supposed to say? Yeah. So anyway, enough of that. You are enjoying that milk, Cam.
I was thirsty.
Oh my god! I might turn the gain up on your mic just to hit it. You enjoy that milk, man. Anyway, yeah, 2024. Yeah, it's been eventful. I mean, yeah, I wanted to hear yours, Cam, because that was, there's a lot to talk about. With my 2024, obviously you've seen the whole thing, really. I've definitely left it this year very different to how I started it, as you know.
Yeah.
So obviously, not many people know this actually, but I actually left my job as an accountant, which I started when I was 18, fresh out of school as a trainee accountant. And Cam, you're actually quite pivotal with that. I'm not trying to say you made a decision for me. You definitely didn't.
No.
You were just someone that I spoke to, someone that I trust, and we had countless conversations in the car, actually. You're the only person that I actually spoke to about. I think I spoke to my mum a little bit about it, and then she also said like, yeah, maybe you it almost sounds like you need a fresh start. But yeah, you were very pivotal with that, Cam, and I decided to leave my job. Had my notice in March. I mean, even like my best friend at work, Ash, I know you're listening at the moment. I didn't even tell Ash that I was leaving. I told her after handing my notice. I feel like she would have convinced me to stay, so I couldn't. Yeah. She'd have been biased, so I had to use Cam. Non-subjective Cam, is that the word? Objective.
Yeah. I think you got a bit of biscuit on your nose, by the way, just underneath. Where? Like there.
Like
on your nose.
On my nose? Yeah, I do. It's fallen off. We're keeping that in. That's really funny.
I just saw it and I was like, I need to tell him soon.
It's when I took the whole biscuit, I went,
yeah.
And it must have just got onto my nose. That's brilliant. No, that's amazing. Thank you for telling me that. I really appreciate that. Is that completely off? Definitely.
Yeah. It's
cool.
Gone.
Yeah. So left work, and that was quite crazy. I kind of
move.
I don't know whether it's like, I don't want to just put everything down to like autism. It's definitely not. But I do wonder, I think it was actually Chloe's dad that said this to me as well. And he said that he finds with autism that in his mind, he makes everything out almost like a fairy tale in his head. Like he will say, I'll do this and it will work out amazing. I'm trying to give an example. Like, let's say someone wanted to be a singer. Like in their head, you'd be like, this is an amazing thing to do. And then when you put it into practice, you're like, actually, this wasn't what I'm all made out to be. I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm just to say it was the best decision that I made this year, leaving. Yeah. And there's nothing against my old firm. They were great. I said this last time.
Yeah.
I still stick firmly that it's the best decision I made.
I think so too.
However, I didn't quite understand and really envision how difficult it was going to be to begin with.
Yeah.
I didn't realise, and it was lovely for the first month or so where I was seeing you quite a lot, and it was amazing. I was like, oh my god, I can see my friends again. Woo! I've actually got a bit of my life back.
Yeah.
But then the money starts going, and you're like, oh no. Then you get I have been in financial difficulties. Somehow I've managed to coast through it.
Yeah, you've done very well.
God knows how. Like really, God knows how. I've managed to somehow. I had a bit of money. Like I knew that I was probably going to quit, so I saved up a bit for that reason. So I managed to kind of coast through. But yeah, for the first couple of months, Cam, I'm going to be honest, it was a bit tricky after a while. And I don't know if I told you this, but I think it must have hit around. We did the tournament in May, got to June, July sort of time, and I started to feel really down. I'm not depressed. There's a big difference between having depression and just feeling down. Yeah. That's very important to say.
Clear. Very different things.
Very different things, and it's very important to mention that.
Yeah.
I was just feeling down.
Yeah.
And I had no kind of direction in my life. I didn't know what to do. And I don't think I said that to you. June, I was feeling really crap, and then the Euros came around, it got a bit better and stuff. And basically, I think it all stemmed from the fact that I envisioned this amazing thing of leaving work and I'll be able to find my way. And it's not as rosy as that. It's really tricky, and it's hard to find your next career.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you said, it was pretty ballsy that I just left. Yeah. most people would try to find something first, which I had no plan at all. But to cut long story short, I know the months passed and stuff. I am really happy myself now, and it was the best decision that I made, and that is because, well, me and you wouldn't be sat here right now doing this.
Yeah.
First of all, I want to also say Cam was a massive catalyst for this as well. Actually, shall we quickly explain the podcast actually while I'm yapping?
Yeah, I can do.
So, I don't know if you know this far actually, but it was literally about a year ago. It was the week between like Christmas and New Year where, you never know what time of day or year it is. You don't know where you are. Do you know, like, it's between like the 26th to like New Year's Eve. You just got no clue where you are and what time of day you're just in this like
void.
Void, that's the word. You're in this void. You're like, is it Wednesday? Is it Thursday? Is it new? Like, who knows? We'll find out after the break. Like, I just don't know. Anyway, I was like, shower thoughts. God, I love a shower thought. Yeah. And I don't know why it came up. I was just sat there, just, I don't know, heads and shoulders on my hair. And I was just like, I'd love to do a podcast one day, because I listened to, that's literally what it was. And then I came up with the idea of what I said to you, and it must have been just after we got back from France. I think I mentioned it to you on the off.
I think so, yeah.
And I was really nervous about talking to you about it.
Yeah.
It might have been just before France. I think it was about a month or two before we started. I first mentioned it.
Might have been, yeah.
And I was like, really nervous to tell you, Cam. Really nervous to tell you about it. Because I just didn't think it was a good idea. I do have a lot of self-doubt naturally. And you know that.
It's easy to do.
Not many people know that. I put up a bit of a front, but I think Cam knows how much I overthink sometimes, and I really do get in my own head. As one of my best friends, you know that firsthand. And it had to be that you had to go to me and say, like, Finn, like, that's such a sick idea. Like, you've got to do it. And I was like, okay, maybe people will like it, you know, if Cam likes it. And fast forward 3-4 months we've been doing this, and Cam is a founder essentially. You literally do this with me. You know, you edit every single episode behind the scenes, and I'm so grateful for you. You've given me so much confidence with this to just push on and go like, yeah, you just crack on with it.
Yeah.
And big up Kev.
Of course, yeah.
He's never leaving. Every episode we're mentioning him, but very grateful for you, Cam.
I think you need to do yourself a lot of credit as well, because obviously, like, you edit.
Oh, thank you.
I don't do everything. Like, you edit the audio as well.
Yeah.
But I remember when you first said it to me, you was on about doing a radio segment, a mental health radio segment, weren't you? Yeah.
That was one of the things. Like, actually on the radio, like live, sort of thing.
Which I thought in itself, like, that I remember saying to you, like, oh, that's a really good idea. Like, people listening, they might have had a bad day at work, or they're driving home from a bad day, sort of, and then they hear a little segment, and it could be something uplifting.
Exactly.
And then now it's evolved into this. But I think it's been a really good use of your time where you've been trying to find, like, where you want to go.
Yeah. I mean, I look back, and this is not to kind of like big myself up, it's not, because I actually don't think about like my achievements enough, and I don't really think about it. Sometimes I feel like I've wasted this year, but then I literally, just before we came over here, I just thought to myself, like, hang on a minute, Finn, like, you left your job that clearly wasn't for you. It just wasn't for you. Like, you know, I thought it was when I was 18. Everyone thinks something's right from when they're 18, but as they grow up, you change. You know, your things change. So did that. We did the tournament. We did the charity tournament for my brother Connor. We finally hit the 15k mark for money, which, like, for fundraising, which is unbelievable. Us as a family, and you, Cam, you help. Everyone helps. Like, we have all, and you guys watching this, it's very likely you've come to the tournament, and you guys have helped that. We've hit 15k, which is unbelievable. We did the charity match as well. We've started a podcast. I'm doing more of my DJing.
It's very impressive.
Yeah.
It's very, very
I
impressive.
appreciate it. And, you know, I mean, I don't know if you guys know, if you know me well enough, but I've been doing, like, some radio stuff. So I'm kind of trained to be a radio presenter. I haven't been to Sheppey FM for a while, actually. I really need to get back down there. Maybe I'll be back down there to do more, but I've been doing a bit of radio work with Sheppey FM. I mean, really get into my DJing, and I have got an idea. I'm not going to say, I don't want people to know everything that I'm on about, but I have got, like, a different income stream coming. I'm also a postman now, so, you know, I've got loads of things happening in my life, and I'm really happy at the moment, but it wasn't all rosy. It definitely wasn't all rosy. So that's kind of my 2024 summed up, really. But yeah, I'm in a good place at the moment, but
that's good to hear.
It's good, yeah, but it's, you know, life has its peaks and troughs. So just being realistic. This isn't me being pessimistic. It's being real that, you know, 6 months down the line, we might have a different conversation. And I mean, it might be even better. Maybe it'd be slightly worse. Who knows? But at the moment, in this present moment, which is what we will have to live in, I'm okay. Yeah. And I'm happy just to be here talking to you. So
that's brilliant.
Let off my and also talking about my diagnosis is one of the biggest things in my life that I've achieved this year. That was crazy.
Yeah,
and
that's a really big thing.
It's so crazy, and, like, I'm sure she won't mind me mentioning this, but obviously, again, like, Hannah, obviously, you know Hannah, she was the person that really kind of gave me the impetus to say that. Yeah, and that for me is probably one of the biggest. It sounds selfish because it's about me, but it's one of my personal biggest achievements this year. Is actually coming to telling people that. And realistically, no one cares. Like, you know, like, you know what I mean? It's like, in my head, I made out to be like, oh God, this is the end of the world if I tell everyone, but it doesn't really matter. Like, people have accepted me, and they've been
good reactions.
Yeah, and they've been really nice about it. And and just a personal thing, you know, thank you, Hannah, for, you know, for doing that for me, you know, and having that conversation with me, and I really appreciate it. But that's my year kind of summed up, I'd say. And yeah, things are going quite well, I think. But who knows where they'll go if just carrying away I am. And
yeah, I think as well, like on that point, it's definitely okay to not know what you want to do as well. I know you said you've taken 6 months to kind of find yourself, but
crazy.
That can be such a different time frame for people. Like it could be a couple of years before you find something that you really like want to do. But I think there's definitely a general consensus that people, they have to know what they need to find their purpose by the time they hit 20 or something like that. And it's just not the case. Sometimes you can find your passion in life when you're 30 or you're 40 or you're 50.
You're so spot on.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny there's this almost like cultural thing that you have to have it all figured out? Yep. And I don't know whether it stems from, I mean, I'm just literally thinking off the top of my head, but I know obviously like culture's changed massively for our parents, for example. Like for our parents, it would be like, you'd get a job when you turn 18 or 16 even when you left school, and you just stick it.
Yep.
And I feel like that's why I think there's this culture of like, you have to have it figured out, maybe passed down from generations.
Yeah.
But realistically, if you look around you now, you could speak to most people in their 30s and they'll be like, I do not know what I want to do in my life still. And you got someone that's 20 and it might say, oh, I've got it all figured out. I actually know what I want to do. But it's quite funny actually, you say that as well, because I'm almost feeling like I need to find this passion of mine that is my absolute leading light, my guiding light, and it will just be everything, and I'll find this passion and I'll be happy for the rest of my life. But it's finding this tangible thing that doesn't exist, I think, and passions can change.
They can.
Yeah.
I think it's different for everybody. Like even in my case, like I'm kind of fortunate in a way, or maybe just kind of stupid.
I'm sure.
But like I've always just been like, I want to act, and I've just kind of stuck to that.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I think some people have said before, like, like I wish I had that. Like you just knew from the off
I've said that
you
before.
always wanted to be. Yeah, you always wanted to do that, and you've just kind of stuck to that.
Yeah.
And I'm fortunate in that way that I have just kind of stuck to that. But it doesn't really matter. I think however you come across things, I've still kind of chopped and changed that vision.
Well, first of all, it was more theatre, wasn't it, when you left school, wasn't it?
Well,
performing arts more.
When I was a kid, like aged 6 to like 10, I trained for 4 years in, it was more like film and TV with a bit of stage as well. Place in London I used to train at when I was a kid, so that was like TV and film very much based.
Was that when Zach and Cody came over?
Yeah, that was when I
that's an iconic photo.
Yeah, met did a workshop with Zach and Cody, which was great. They actually gave some you know what, that's perfect, they gave some really solid advice, because they were talking to people like myself who was like 7 at the time, or 8 maybe. So I was still really young, and your view on the world is developing at that point
massively.
And everyone in that room that was doing that workshop with them wanted to be actors. And I remember they just sat up there and they said like, honest truth, if you want to get into this industry, it's going to be really tough and you have to really want it. And they were just like, yep, you're going to do say 100 auditions and you may get told no for all of them, but if you really want to do it, you're going to do all these auditions and then eventually you'll just get to the yes because you want it. But they were so like blunt in the terms of like, you'll do loads of auditions and you'll get no's, but like as long as you want it, you'll find that yes. But you've got to want it and know that that's what you want to do for that.
Oh my
God, that love of it. And that's always stuck with me because I still remember it now.
Stuck with you 16 years later.
Yeah, like that's it. It's a good sort of anecdote of. Is anecdote the right word?
Yeah, it's right. It's like a little mini story of like, or metaphor maybe for what the industry is.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
But just for like passions and wants in general, because you know, if you really want to do it, then it's not always smooth sailing. And you just kind of stick with it. And I think their point was as well that, you know, you might think you want to do it, but maybe you decide you don't.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely fine.
Exactly that. You just give me an idea for a podcast episode.
Brilliant.
Genuinely.
Don't talk about it now.
No, don't talk about it now. Don't talk about it now. No, I'll tell you after. Got to remember. Got to remind me. So yeah, I almost can tell that advice has helped you, because obviously you do so many self takes, don't you? Like, well, you do a quite fair handful. I feel like every week you kind of tell me, oh, I'm just doing a self take. But if you do, it's not always, but sometimes don't get them, which probably more often than not, being realistic, isn't it?
Yeah, you get no's.
You get lots of no's, and like you just don't get bummed by it, which is too much.
I think you'd be lying if you said it doesn't
affect you at all.
Just in general, when things don't work out, like you definitely have a habit. To just go, oh.
Yeah,
damn! Like wanted that,
and especially you're really good at the code names, aren't you? So you figure out what it is. And
I never say what it is though.
No, you don't. You're very good. No, cut that.
Yeah, but sometimes you can sort of like get an inkling as to what things are, and that can make you want it more.
Personally, you work it out yourself, and you think you know what it is, and then that sort of thing. So I think that's life skills as well. Not only is it acting, but rejection happens a lot. A huge amount. It links perfectly to mental health, actually. Yeah. Rejection in any type, and it's not even just like this is a massive tangent, but it's a funny one to go down. Not funny, but a good one. Yeah. But it's not only just like actual verbal rejection, saying no. It's also like being accepted in society and like feeling rejected because you're different and stuff, which is, and it just kind of sets you up in that sense. I mean, I don't know if you've ever had to deal with that outside of acting, rejection really hugely. Girls always say,
oh yeah,
girlfriends galore.
So many rejections.
It's character building, bro. I've upset you.
I'm
big
fine.
time.
I was acting.
That was good. That's why you're wicked.
Yeah.
That's why Ariana Grande got to meet you.
Yeah, that's not my audition. No, I think, like you said, it does happen a lot in everyday life, really. I mean, even like that whole thing of like being told no and not getting what you want, like outside of acting, just in general life, like trying to find your passion and stuff, I think you're always going to come across those things where like it doesn't work out, or like you said, Chloe's dad said, you think it's going to be something, and then sometimes that thing might not be what it's made out to be. But I think you just need to discover that. There's nothing wrong in discovering that something isn't for you.
Yeah.
But you just need to figure that out. You need to do it to find that.
Oh, and then, 100% Cam. It's like, it sometimes I think there's a big thing with rejection as well, where like you have a bit of fear with actually doing something in the first place out of pure fear of being rejected or failing at it. And if you can just, it's all in your head.
Imposter syndrome.
Exactly that, imposter syndrome. Am I good enough to do this? And it's all in your head. I honestly am a strong believer that if you don't know what you want to do with your life, just try everything you're interested in. And that's what I've done so far this year. Yeah. Whether it's DJing or like radio presenting or like just random crap. Just give it a go.
It can literally be anything. Yeah. It doesn't have to be like, this huge extravagant thing.
No.
It can be literally anything. But
you like to draw things? Why not start drawing? Buy a colouring book, or
you like fixing computers, or
start breaking.
You like, I don't know, sports or music or just literally anything. You like teaching, all those sort of things.
If you like working with kids, maybe volunteer somewhere just to give it a try. Yeah. If you've got time to. It's just trying little things, because for me, I've learned quite a few lessons this year, a lot, and it links quite nicely with what you've just said, because one of them is like, I'd rather give something a go than not try it at all and regret it later on in life. I kind of felt like that was, I don't know, it was really random. It was when I was DJing in Queenborough in July, and that was when I realised I wanted to DJ more. And I just literally, that night, I sat myself down and I just sometimes have to have like a real chat with myself. I was like, Finn, you clearly I'm interested in DJing. Imposter syndrome, am I good enough? There's so many other DJs that are better than me. And it was like, no, look, I'm on my own course. Give it a go. Yeah. And if it doesn't work out, you've given it a go. And then when you're 70 or 80 on your deathbed, whatever, you can look back and go, I actually tried it and it didn't work. On the other flip side is I didn't give it a go and now I'm regretting it.
No, I regret it. Yeah.
I could have been a superstar DJ, but I never tried because I was just scared of rejection and failure.
Yeah.
So that was quite a long segment, but I just wanted to get it out there.
No, it's a good segment though as well, because that can really hinder on mental health as well. If like you have so much like regret and
hugely
because you haven't done something. Sometimes people can just shut themselves away because they're just like, well, you know, I failed. I haven't done what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with like having that feeling because you got to look back on it and there probably are like a lot of good things that you have done as well, even if you haven't done something specifically that you thought you wanted to do.
You're giving it a go. It's a lot easier said than done.
Oh,
I think
100%.
and I think like for me that works really well. I'm lucky that I feel like I have enough self-confidence to try these things, which is all good, but that's not the same with everyone. Like some people really struggle with self-confidence and anxiety and stuff, which is completely normal and fine. And sometimes they don't feel like they're in a position to try that. And it's kind of like navigating that and trying to find ways to kind of just like boost self-confidence, I guess, to try and do those things. But it is hard. I want to say it is hard to do those sorts of things. So I'm trying to think of advice. I can't. Be more confident.
Yep, you heard it here first.
Just be more confident, guys. No, it is hard to do. Actually, I've got another segment. Were you about to say something?
No.
Good. Because I'm just yapping away here. But there's this book I read. Again, it's the book I mentioned in the other one, The Chimp Paradox.
Chimp Paradox, yeah.
Which Jack went to me after the episode and went, I got you that book. Why didn't I get a shout out? Jack, here's your shout out. Yes, you did buy me it. And what? He's going to kill me for that. But no,
just I can see him over there. His ears just perked up.
It's like a dog. You can hear it's like in different frequency levels. You just heard the frequency level of timbre. It's like, he's talking about me. I heard the word Jack. He's put a little monitor in here, hasn't he? Anyway, there's this segment about confidence, and I really should have reread it before coming out to do this podcast. Because I remember bits about it, but it's about how do you get confident and like how do you have confidence. And from what I remember, this might help you. I should have checked. I'll give you like a little anecdote with like confidence. And let's say you're going to do a speech, like a public speech, and beforehand, like many people, you'll be like, oh, what if I fail? What if I mess up? What if everyone doesn't like me? What if I stutter? What if I don't come out right? What if I don't say the right things and everyone's jeering you? That's one side of your brain, the chimp, as I said. But I think the confidence lies in the fact that you can only try your hardest. That is all you can do. And if you can put your confidence into giving 100%, then that will give you confidence, I promise you, because you're taking out all the things that you can't control, whether that's people laughing at you and jeering at you, which is just not going to happen. But it's taking out all those things that you can't control and channeling your confidence into everything you can control. So people, prime example, people might not like what I'm talking about with this podcast. There's going to be people listening right now that think I'm chatting absolute crap and they don't like it.
Yeah.
But I'm trying my hardest right now to try and help people. And that kind of gives me confidence because you can't control what people are going to think. But if you can't. That kind of makes sense, or?
No, you can't control people. That's a dictatorship.
We don't like dictatorships. It's been trialed for years across many different generations. It never works.
Yeah, no, that's a very true point. You can't control what people think, but there's always going to be people that don't like something, and there are always people that do like something. So.
Well, it's perfect with your industry, isn't it? Really, with it,
yeah.
you know, there's going to be people that. You probably maybe even have haters that you're on Wicked. Who knows? Maybe people deep down be like, oh, I'm jealous because he got to be on Wicked. And it's interesting. I don't want to keep that in, but it's more just, you never know, do you? Like, people are going to like things and dislike things that you do.
Yeah.
As long as you're stay true to yourself.
Yeah, and you just have to kind of like, I think, listen where there's advice, maybe like actual advice, but just kind of ignore things as much as possible.
Yeah, I think we kind of covered it all. I hope everyone's enjoyed listening to me and Cam yap. But yeah, I think we kind of covered it. There's a lot of topics that we spoke about. I had loads of questions lined up, but I kind of realised halfway through this episode, don't need them. We're ticking a lot of things off as we speak.
I think we just naturally went into topics anyway.
Yeah, we did. I thought that would happen. It was a plan B. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and yeah, let us know if you want more of these just random discussions whether it's me and Cam, or it's me and someone else, or whatever, or just let us know what you kind of want in the new year. We'll have big plans coming next year. I think I don't want to say that. It's nothing big, but I don't want to promise something that's not going to happen.
Yeah, we've got new things coming.
We've got new things coming, and it's really exciting for the podcast. This isn't going anywhere, and it's going really well. I was going to chuck this on you now. I usually ask my guests, or obviously your co-host, a bit of advice I'll give someone.
Yeah.
But has there been anything from this year, or it doesn't have to be just this year, like a lesson you've learned that you kind of want to share with other people? You can take your time to think about this, by the way. Just something that might help someone listening from what you've learned this year.
I think I've learned that it's okay to want to be by yourself and maybe not talk about things, like kind of spend some time by yourself and shut yourself away.
Yeah.
As long as you do kind of feel those emotions or whatever you're thinking about, but at the same time, it is a good thing to then also talk about things as well.
Yeah, that's
just getting it off your chest. But the two things are I'd say yin and yang. I think you can do both as long as you're sensible with the shying away or being by yourself and not taking it too far. I think that's something that I've definitely learned a lot this year, because I've done a lot of kind of being by myself and reflecting, but also talking.
And also talking. Cam, I want to say as well, that was a really important thing that you said about not talking, because actually there's a big thing by saying, when we say it all the time, like I said it today, talk, it's really important to talk. But I think for some people, like you just said, some people you need time to kind of take your emotions in and really come to terms with things, and talking isn't always the best option at the first instance, I've found. No. It's good to kind of just come to terms with your feelings in your own way, and then maybe talk about it when you're ready.
Yeah.
But that was a really good thing to say, Cam, because I think there's this massive culture of saying, talk. You got to talk. And it's not always the right solution for everyone. So brilliant,
It's not bottling it up, and definitely not ignoring it, but just some time to yourself, just to be kind to yourself. Think about things, but do something you enjoy on your own and think about it. Go on, we always say a walk as well. Yeah. Think about it on a walk, but don't don't get yourself in a pit where you're not doing any good for yourself. But
very important thing to say that. Exactly that. It's getting a definition of what it means to not talk. That you summed up perfectly. It's not that you're pushing it away. No. Very much taking it in, drinking it in, really coming to terms with it. Yeah. That's good, Cam. And I feel like it's helped you this year that, to have, would you say, to have that yin and yang of...
Yeah, I've done both. Sometimes you just don't... Sometimes you don't want to, go out that night and do that thing. No. Sometimes you just feel like you want to just sit down, watch, some TV, or, have a bath, listen to music, that sort of thing. Sometimes... Yeah, so sometimes you want to do that.
So good.
And sometimes you want to go out and socialise and talk about stuff that's going on, but you can do both.
You
can do both.
I haven't thought about one for myself.
Flip that around.
Well, I'm gonna have to now that I've said it. No, what lesson have I learned? I guess it isn't a lesson as such, but I've learned to be more grateful for things, and that's helped my mental health massively. I think being grateful for what you have, I think in this time, in this generation, in this world we live in a world that is quite greedy, and people kind of feel like, I need more, I need this new car, I need this pay rise, I need everything. But it's actually just taking in what you've got. And obviously I quit my job, which was my choice obviously, but I was already left with a lot less. I couldn't go on holidays as easily. I'm a bit less restricted. But then I thought to myself, I don't need a new car. I don't need new anything. I don't need a partner. I don't need a partner. I don't need a girlfriend. I'm quite happy with who I am. I've got a house. I've got food. I've got water. And it sounds so cliche, but we don't. Like every morning I wake up and this is like really embarrassing, but I say to myself like, this is gonna be an amazing day, Finn. Like this is gonna be good, and I'm alive.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
I've woken up and I literally, because as I get out of my bed, I turn left and there's a window, and I leave my blinds open on purpose that I wake up and then the sun's there or it's a bit cloudy, whatever. But like I just say to myself, Finn, you're alive. You've got a house under your head. You've got food and water. Everything's gonna be okay. And I feel like that's really, I only started doing it this year.
Yeah.
And it's really helped my mental health.
That's really good.
One quote, as I said quote, one quote, I'll just say it. I hate quotes sometimes because they sound so cliche and it's like a bit cringe. But this one really, it sat with me for a long time. And it's this guy called Russ. Do you know Russ? He's a singer.
Yes.
I think, were you going to come with us to or was it just me? No, it was me, Mitch and Jack. I think you said you didn't really know him, so you didn't want to come. We were going to, doesn't matter. But yeah, I think, he had a cancelled tour that me and Jack want to go to. But I read this book back over COVID called Get Out Your Own Head, I think it's called. But anyway, I think it's in the book he says, or might be in a podcast he said, what if everything could turn out better than you imagined? It's a song, I think it's paraphrased massively, but it's like things can get worse. That's obviously the reality. But you can also say on the flip side, what if things can get better? What if things can get better for yourself? And I think that's quite a nice sort of thing to leave off with from me. But yeah, I've yapped a lot this episode. Was there anything else, Cam, that you wanted to finish up on? I think
I think that's covered everything. Yeah, that was really good as well.
Thank
saying
you.
that, yeah,
Thank you.
I think that's
thank you, Queen.
really important. Definitely really important. You've got to like look at. Sometimes you don't realize what you do have because you're looking to stuff that you don't. But
yeah. Exactly that. It's about being I'm happy that I'm here and I've got you in my life. It sounds really, it sounds really like cringe, but I've got you and Jack, got Mitch, got everyone. Yeah. So I'm not going to name all my mates. I don't have many, to be fair, but but we're here and we're living and we're alive. So take that in your stride, guys. And I hope that helps you in your life every day, because it's amazing that you're here and you don't always have everything, but you have got everything that you have at the moment and you're alive and living. So that's always good. So yeah. Right then. Merry Christmas again, guys. 3 days till Christmas. Woo! We're totally not recording this on the 5th of December. Master planner we are.
Close enough.
At least it's actually December. For like Luke's episode, it was November and I had the tree. God, I had a few pitchforks for that. Like, I had a riot after that. Yeah. Anyway, we are getting on a bit longer. So yeah, we'll finish up if you want.
Yeah.
So, as always, this is your host, Finn Tumber. This is also your host, Cameron Ralph. Co-hosting today. Who's the main host? Who knows? We're both... thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. But yeah, Merry Christmas, guys, and cheerio. Bye.
See ya. Bye.
Oh, you did it. You did it.
I didn't do it at the start. So.